Hi, I'm Doug.
And I'm Cathy.
And this is Maggie Mae. Join us as we follow the moon. And welcome to our Route 66 series. You know, we've heard us talking about this since last fall, and it's finally begun. We are starting off in Southern California, and we are going to be working Route 66 eastbound. So we're going to hopefully follow 70 degrees and not follow the snowfall.
That's right.
And work our way northeast from the Santa Monica Pier in sunny California to Chicago, the Windy City.
That's right.
So, yeah, get ready to be windblown.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people have asked, when you're doing an epic road trip, whether you're part-time, full-time, family vacation, or going across the country like we are, how do you plan a trip like this? And I'll tell you, we had a little help this time.
We did.
We are starting off this trip with a nice little book we got off of Amazon. It's Route 66 Travel Guide, 202 Amazing Places. And if you get one of these, they're updated every year. There's still a few things that we've found are maybe a year or so behind the time, things that aren't there anymore or have been redone. But at the bottom of this, it says Eastbound Edition. There are eastbound editions and westbound editions. And this has been such a lifesaver. It even has in each state a list of RV parks that are right along the Route 66 road, what there is of it, or along 40.
That's right.
So, but it gives you motel, hotel, RV parks, and every stop has a QR code. And I went through on Google Maps, scanned that barcode, and marked them all on our Google Maps so we can see exactly where it goes. Give me a little bit better idea that way as far as scheduling our RV camps so that we don't have a 5-hour travel day and then a 1-hour travel day.
And notice, we are just getting ready to start this journey. And look at how afraid that is.
Yes, I've been through it pretty well. I've bent down the top of the pages at the beginning of each new state so I can find that as we go along. 2,200 odd miles, just over 2,200 miles along the trip. We now have our reservations in place. We are getting ready to start our filming. And every Friday will be a Route 66 video. So our normal time, 9 o'clock Eastern on Friday mornings, those will all be Route 66 videos coming out throughout the series. Our Monday videos are going to continue to be places that we want to see and want to show you that are not necessarily Route 66 related, but we're seeing along the way. RV park reviews, all those sorts of things are going to be on Mondays throughout this series. Once we're through with Route 66, we got a couple other ideas of some videos to spring on you now. So
that's right.
But tell me a little bit, Cathy, Route 66, what's the appeal for you of going across the Mother Road, as it's called?
Just the Americana, to really experience the travel of back in the day. I came from a military family and we drove around a lot, so I saw a lot on the East Coast, which was pretty much more west. We started around Missouri, but pretty much east of this whole area. So I really never saw any of this part of it. And yes, in our travels we've been seeing a lot, but it's kind of fun to just go through and experience the 50s, the 60s, yeah. So.
And for me, you know, there's a lot of places that, you know, you see pictures of famous spots.
Yeah.
And those are drilled in my mind, and we have passed by coincidentally in some of those as we've traveled. But this whole series is going to be dedicated to the Mother Road and the things that you see along there. There are so many things I'm so excited to see.
I know. Another source that I started looking at last year when we started first talking about doing Route 66 is social media. There's a lot of pages on various social media sites that are dedicated to Route 66 travel. And even, you know how they listen to us, so the minute we end up talking about something, it's gonna show up. It'll be in an ad or just little stories pop up. And I mean, it doesn't matter what state we're in, those things will pop up. But we started seeing a lot of Route 66 on social media, and I would save them and save them and save them, and then I finally thought, well, I'll just go on that page and follow that page, and then I can go, when we get serious, I'll go back and go through all of their posts. But this right here has really been pretty nice.
Yeah. One thing about the social media, I'm more of an Instagram person, you're more of a Facebook person, but I have to admit I found more on Facebook for Route 66. There's a Route 66 Relics group that's got some great posts. If you're planning on going, subscribe to a couple of those and look back in their posts, because they'll keep you up to date on if something has closed, or if it's been torn down, or if it's been renovated. So all those things are caught up immediately, where this runs a little bit behind.
Well, some of it too, it's in our daily lives, things can change. A storm went through, and now that road is blocked. You stick to these pages and they'll update you really quickly about what's going on in that area, if you need to avoid it, or if something special is going on, a big event is happening.
Weather damage. I mean, we ran into just this spring fires, floods, everything else, and a matter of changing plans and double checking before we depart.
The lifestyle we have, we really have to pay attention to that.
On one hand, it's great because we're mobile. If there's something dangerous in our path, we can divert our home and our possessions and our family. But on the other hand, you have to pay attention. There's going to be a train go by, so if you hear it honking, we're at
we'll wave it.
We're at Thousand Trail Soledad Canyon.
There we go.
There it is. And they've had a little gate crossing problem today, so the trains are going by slow and they're honking a lot, so bear with us.
So anyway, back to Route 66. This is what we're going to be doing this year, and we're so excited to have you come along with us.
Absolutely. Lots of great things in store, and we are also, the next thing is going to be, we've got a few renovations we're doing on our coach, and we're going to make a stop in Red Bay. And after our Route 66, we'll be bringing you a video or two from Red Bay, Alabama, show you why we're doing a few renovations and what we're going to be making changes. And we are just pumped. We've got so much going on the first half of this year that's just ridiculous. If you're planning a Route 66 voyage, the reason we're doing Route 66 this year in 2025 is 2026 will mark the 100th anniversary of Route 66. It's a big deal, and there's so many people hitting the Mother Road next year. So we want to bring this to you this year, hopefully, one, to ignite that little spark in your travel desires, that you'll get out and see Route 66 on the anniversary. And maybe you'll see a few things along the way in the video that you definitely won't want to miss as you're traveling.
And also, even if you just live in areas close by and you can't make the whole trip, that you're close enough, you can go to an event or something happening in an area that's Route 66 near you.
California, going across the width of California, we're staying in 2 different RV parks and covering the entire state. We're not necessarily taking the motorhome down 66 because we've heard some horror stories about where the old road just stops and there's a field in front of you, and then you have to try and do a 3 or 5 or 7 point turn to get turned around with your toad on the back.
Or go off-roading.
So we're putting the motorhome in convenient spots and then taking the car and doing the trip on Route 66. So be safe about it. plan ahead, and Route 66 is going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, absolutely.
So with that, stay tuned. We'll have another video coming up on Monday, and then a week from today, on Friday, will be the part 1, starting at the Santa Monica Pier in Santa Monica, California, and heading east. So we hope you're as excited for this trip as what we are. We want you to come along. Take some notes of places that you want to go when you make it across Route 66, whether it's the full 2,200 miles or just a couple hundred miles maybe near where you are. It's worth it. So
with that, thank you for following us as we follow the